repetition. 40 people. That's even more than last time. It all right. Okay, one person don't come. Make I see. Check if you here. You don't see that link once. You didn't see the link.
Start another live again.
They don't come.
Share the link.
Okay. Can you hear me now? Yeah, Mr. Jeremiah, can you hear me?
It's clear.
The answer is clear. You dey hear?
Type.
Can you hear me, please? Now you type is clear.
Can you hear me, please?
Okay. Okay. I can start. Yeah, good morning, everyone. So once again, I want to confirm if you can hear me clearly. Okay, so apologies for the network just messed things up for us, but apologies, so we can take it off from there. So just a minute, let me pre-post the link on our WhatsApp page so that others can join. Okay, can you hear me now? Once again, for the last time, can you hear me so that we'll get going? Can you hear me? Please do indicate if you can hear me. Mr. Jeremiah, Mr. Hosea, can you hear me? Okay, so you see my screen very well. Oh my So check now. Okay, so welcome back to today's presentation. Yeah, so the first slide there says, welcome back to QuickBooks Desktop. Like I was explaining, the major essence of creating the computer accountants group is to help accountants who have not understood the influence accounting software do have on their jobs to understand that. And like I said, most times when I go to run implementation, what I normally meet are non-accountants who have been employed to work as accountants. Now, in that process, as a professional, I have to do my job. I'm being paid to convert a non-accountant uh, personnel to an accounting personnel. Now, the question is always, where are the accountants? Where are those who should be sitting down here? Where are those who should be, using the software proper? So in that regard, I started thinking of, okay, if that is the case, I think there should be more awareness to help people, especially accountants, graduates, and professionals to understand what is happening to them. This is a technology world. You don't need certificate anymore to operate technology. Most of us who are good in AI, some of people who are good in AI don't even have educational background. So when it comes to technology, you just need the mindset and the creativity to embrace these softwares and run with it. So these days, you now realize that more accountants can't even find job. Then when you go to companies, you now see that the person sitting there is just sitting there because he or she has gone for accounting software training and has been able to understand the basics of accounting. And there's nothing you can do about it. So when it comes to that, so the goal, what we are to achieve today, is how to set up this software. Most times companies do acquire them. No company will allow you to buy and bring for them. In most cases, it's companies that do invest in this software. Then sometimes by the time you arrive as an employee, it has been set up. Somebody has done the setup. So what you will benefit is the training. Okay, you benefit more from the training side, and that's that. So I always define accounting as the mirror through which every business sees itself. So if you know the work of a mirror in your house, you will also understand the work of accounting. So today, our take home will be how to set up a company properly on QuickBooks. How to set up a company properly on QuickBooks. So that will be our take home. So my PowerPoint presentation, I'm going to jump the number 2, 3, and 4, because they are more of theory. It's what you can, the video will always be on YouTube. So it's what you can always watch and read and understand. I'm going straight to slide 5. I'm going straight to slide 5, and I tagged it accounting software process. Over the years, I've been implementing different accounting software. I just came to a conclusion that there are 3 basic things I've been doing for this past 10 years. Okay, so you can see them there. You have the setup, posting transaction, and reviewing report. Is my mouse moving? So you have the setup, posting transaction, and reviewing reports. Now, our take home today is on the setup. Everything we are to achieve today will have to be on how to set up. So I want you to follow me very well and very attentive to what the things I'm going to say today. Now, these are the 3 processes you have to go through before you can now boast of having a real-time financial report from any accounting software. These are the 3 layers you can go to. Now, the first 2, the setup and posting transaction, is your responsibility. They are basically your responsibility. Setting up the software the way it will work accurately and churn out reports perfectly is your sole responsibility. The software has no business with that. Posting transaction has nothing to do with the software. It is still your responsibility as the user. Remember, posting transaction has to do with the engagement, the financial engagement of the business over time. But when it comes to the reports, I'm going to remove this, sorry. So when it comes to reports, this is where the software, this is the millions you invested buying this software, is simply to generate real-time reports for you and nothing more. The software cannot set up itself. It's not possible. The software cannot post by itself. It's not possible. What the software is programmed to do is to help you generate near accurate reports. I have never believed there's any accurate report in accounting. It can be near, because if you dissect it and open it up, you now realize that a lot of things that can cause a report to be near accurate or to be imperfect. But when we say accurate, it's also understandable because it is garbage in, garbage out. So when you garbage in perfectly, the system will garbage out perfectly for you. Okay, so remember, our take home today is on setting up properly. Okay, so if you follow me, you will understand this. Remember also that this is not a master class. The master class has to do with a lot of techniques, troubleshooting, and other things that follow that we normally do for companies. But this is strictly how to post perfectly in accounting in order to generate that accurate report you want to have. So, setup is your responsibility. Posting transaction is also your responsibility, while the only responsibility of the software is to generate reports as fast as the postings are coming in. The more you post, the more your reports are ready. So we don't need to wait for our accountant for the next 30 days for him to produce for us manually the report. Now, let's go to the next slide. Please, in summary, our take home is on how to set up properly. Then posting transactions and report. Like I said, the first two, setting up and posting transaction, are your responsibility. So let's go to the next slide. So in setting up, these are the things we have to pass through in setting up. Remember, don't forget this word, garbage in, garbage out. So you have to garbage in perfectly for the system through reports to garbage out perfectly for you. You have to garbage in perfectly, then the system will garbage out perfectly. Now, this is the setup. There are two layers in setting up. One, we have the QuickBooks setup, then the company setup. The QuickBooks setup simply means setting up those unique things about your company on QuickBooks. Those unique things about your company on QuickBooks. Let me give you a perfect example. If you charge VAT, if you charge tax on all your transactions, okay? If you charge VAT or tax on all your transactions, then it simply means it's a unique thing to your business. Not all business does that. So you can set it up in QuickBooks that you charge tax, that we also issue estimate, we issue quotation, we issue quotes and the rest. Then the company setup has to do with those human and non-human information about your business. You are bringing it into the QuickBooks. Let me summarize it this way. QuickBooks setup has to do with the unique things about your company that you will accept in QuickBooks. Those things that you know your company does, that QuickBooks has, you are now selecting them as an option. QuickBooks has them already, so you choose the one that solves your business problem. Then the company setup has to do with your data, the information that is outside QuickBooks, that you are now bringing into QuickBooks. So QuickBooks setups are information in QuickBooks that you are going to make choice on or choose from. While the company setup, which is this one, has to do with information that are outside the software that you need to bring in order to make the software give you exactly what you want. Okay, so that's for the setup. These are the things we'll be achieving this morning. Then the seventh slide talks about the posting. So you can see how the posting is in QuickBooks. So customer transactions. So you can post both commercial and non-commercial documents. Then for vendor transactions, you can also post basically commercial document, because the non-commercial document is the responsibility of the vendor. The vendor takes care of those ones. The only engagement is vendor have with you that you can enter into your software is the commercial document. Then you now look at other accounting activities like raising journals, making transfers, budgeting, managing currency like most NGOs do use, then making deposits. Okay, then what's the responsibility of the software is to generate reports for you. And it might interest you to know that QuickBooks has over 90 different reports. So that's the wonderful thing about this software. You have more than enough. You have more than enough reports. Apart from the primary reports such as profit and loss, balance sheet, trial balance, cash flow, you have more than enough. You have different specified, departmentalized, and general reports that can enrich your decision making. Remember, the essence of report in business is to help the management to make informed decision. Okay, now if you can look at the case study I have here, this is the question. I hope most of us do have this. I sent the case study on the WhatsApp group. I'm sure most of us do have it. The case study should be on the WhatsApp group. Okay, so this is the case study. You can see the non-human data, which is part of the setup. You can see it has to do with your chart of account and your inventory. These are non-human data. Then the human data has to do with your customers, your vendors, and your employees. Okay, so I think it's time for us to do the action part of this training. So let's go. So my QuickBooks is already installed. For your information, my QuickBooks is already installed. So we will not go through but if you look at one of the videos in our YouTube page, you will see where the video I made on how to install QuickBooks, how to install and activate QuickBooks. So that video addresses this first layer. Okay. So the video addresses the installation. So I can't be installing, it will take our time. So that video on my YouTube page, if you go check it out, has addressed the issue of installation. So it takes care of that. So we are going straight into creating a company file. We are going straight into creating company file. So my QuickBooks is already on. So I'm putting it up. I'm putting it up now. So anytime you install a QuickBooks for the very first time, if you install this application for the very first time, this is where it will bring you to. The window you are looking at now is called QuickBooks Windows. This is called QuickBooks Windows. So once you install your QuickBooks and click, it brings you to this page. Now you can notice that no company has been created. No company has been created already, so it's still fresh. So we are just lucky we are doing it from the scratch for the first person. No company has been created, so that is good for us. So under it, so if I have a company created already, you will see it under this company list. So you have create a company. This is where we are navigating from. Then you have open or restore an existing company. So if I have a company already in the system, or I'm moving a company file from system A to this place, I can restore that company. Then you can open a sample company file. So without wasting much of our time, let's move to create a company file. Change the light now, off the fan. Okay, so this is it. Now, this is what you have. This is what you have. This is the page that normally comes. So you can create it as an admin if you are the person who bought the software for the very first time. So I've already made use of this, or somebody can create on my behalf. But for today's training, okay, look at where you have other options. Okay, you drop down from other options. Go off the gem now. Don't tell you. Then select advanced setup. Advanced setup. So look at the trajectory. You click on this, because if you follow this, if you follow this is my software actually. If you follow here, it will start asking you for the details of this application. So it's not going to work. Okay, the details are with me. So if you are using it and you want to follow that direction, that means you have to provide every detail and my account that I use in buying this software. So for us to make our journey easy, you go to other options. You always see it in all the QuickBooks software, and select advanced setup. Good. Exactly. So if you are with that our case study, Sky Investment Limited, if you are with that case study, okay, so this is where you put in the name of the company, Sky Investment Limited, using capital letter to register companies on every accounting software. So once this is done, copy and paste is still the legal name. Then enter your company, your tax ID. Okay. Then I'm going to, overlook some of these optional things. Enter the address of your business, the address extension, the city, the country, the phone number of your business. Okay, these things are optional. They are very much optional. Then enter the email, optional, website, optional. But the most important thing, the most critical thing is the company's name. The most critical thing is the company's name. So having done that, you click next. Now, QuickBooks makes it easy for you in creating or setting up a company or a business. Okay, so you can see that you have the platform. Now we'll start our master classes, but have it at the back of your tracking inventory. Yes, our case study today is an inventory business. It's an inventory, it's an item-oriented business.
Our case study today is an inventory business. It's an inventory, it's an item-oriented.
No, I'm on track. It's working. So you select yes. Okay, next. Tracking time. This mostly worked with NGOs and with construction business. You know, if you look at a typical construction business, you notice that most of the staff, most of the employees are on part-time. They are paid based on the time put in the work. So in that regard, I want to know how much time you have worked, what have we agreed per hour, and the number of hours you've worked, so that the software can quickly calculate what I'm to pay you. So I don't need to stress my brain. So next, do you have employees? Virtually every business do have employees. Now, yes, the first answer is yes. Now, what type of employees do you have? What type of employees do you have? Now, the first here is a W-2 employee. Please don't forget that QuickBooks is an American software. Okay, so most of the terms you are seeing here are American terms, but I'm going to explain them. A W-2 employee is a normal everyday employee. Sorry, it's a normal everyday employee. Okay, it's a normal everyday employee. So what it simply means that there are those employees that before you pay them, you deduct their social responsibilities, okay, such as their payee and other deductibles. You deduct them and remit on their behalf, then pay them the net. See, there are normal employees that a company deducts the payee and all the rest from their salary, then pay them the net. While a 1099 contractor, a perfect example of a 1099 contractor is your auditor, your external auditor. There is no way you can pay the tax of an auditor apart from the withholding tax and the VAT, which makes you a registrant to the government. You pay him his money in full. Then I'll go and sort out myself with FIRS. I'll go and pay my company tax by myself. That is why let me give you a life example. That is why when you see a footballer taken to court by the state, by the country, by the state where he plays, he applies his footballing trade, you notice that the club hardly comes. Have you not noticed that anytime Messi or most of these players who don't pay their tax, when they go to court, the club hardly comes to give them support? You know why? They are 1099 contractors. The club has paid you in full. They have given you your weekly, monthly wages. So that you did not pay your tax is your personal problem. You notice it there. The company has paid you for your services. So it is now your duty as a 1099 contractor to now remit your tax to the government. So that is who a 1099 contractor is. An independent vendor, supplier, consultant who has rendered service for you, or who has been rendering service to you, that you pay for those services in full. Then he now goes to sort out his tax problem by himself. Excellent. So we move to the next one, using an account in QuickBooks. One unique thing you must know in QuickBooks is that QuickBooks generates prototype ledgers, prototype charts of account based on the company. Remember, when we are setting up this company, we selected retail shop. So QuickBooks will create sample ledgers, sample account heads of retail shops for us. It's now left for you to run with it or remove all of them and create yours. Now, let me quickly show us something. I've already extracted from our case study. Look at this here. You can see this is what we have this is our sample chart of account. So we are not going to use the one QuickBooks has. We are going to build from the scratch because we want it to reflect who we are. And my years of experience, I normally let company understand. Don't use chart of account that at the end of the day, you start asking question. You start asking question. Why is it so? You understand? Okay. So this is what we are going to set up today, which is directly from that case study, Sky Investment. Okay, let's dash back to QuickBooks software. Okay, now next, then we have to reaffirm or confirm again that having selected January as our fiscal year, then what day of that January will our financial report starts? So it has to be on the 1st of the same January this year. Then if you have any other date apart from January, then you can do that here. So I'm going with this. Next. So you can see what I just explained. QuickBooks creates sample ledgers, sample charts of account for you. It's just to make the job easy. But why use what you don't understand? And most of these ledgers, they come with American terms, American names, because it's an American software. And it's basically income and expense that it has done. So you are free to go ahead, accept this. Then you can edit, you can change the names. So it's just spending the same time doing the same thing. So I rather build from the scratch. So what I'm going to do is I'm rejecting all of this. You uncheck. So I'm going to remove all of this because I want to build my own from the scratch. I want to put in what reflects my business. So I'm taking all of this out. Uncheck. Yep. So a little more patient and we'll be done. So most times I go to organizations, I call it a lazy man's approach. So you see somebody has already set up this and selected strange names. They'll start asking themselves, what's the meaning of finance charge? What's the meaning of this? No, I rather have what reflects you built into the software so that when you see your report is just saying exactly everything about you. That's why I always define accounting as the mirror through which every business sees itself. When you see your report, you should see everything about the business. It's working well. You should see everything about the business. The screen. Okay. You see now. Mhm. You don't come now. Okay, so like where we are, like I said, why use names of ledgers that you are going to struggle with when you say your report? So it's far more better and professional. Yes, it might take time, but I rather take my time and design what reflects the organization in name and in figures. So when you see rent, like now, Americans use payroll, the British use salary. So your boss will now see payroll and he's asking, what account is called payroll? So if he understands salary, you rather set up using the word salary for him. So you make your work easy so that the business owner can also fly with your report so that you won't be called back and they say, please change all of these names to reflect us. So from day one, I have learned over time to be detailed with all of this. So I make sure the business is reflected in the setting up of the work. Good. So what I did here was to uncheck everything that QuickBooks has offered because I want to build my own from the scratch. So this is it. And click next. So congratulations, we are done with the QuickBooks setup. We are done with the QuickBooks setup. Okay. Now we are going into the company setup where you bring in what QuickBooks doesn't have about you into the software. The first stage is selecting from the software the unique things that concerns our business. That's what we have just finished doing. Now the company setup will now be bringing into the software those information about us that the software don't have. We want to now bring it into the software. Okay, so you go to setup. Don't go. You go to setup. Okay, so I'm good to go. You go to setup. So here we are. So all of this, you have to be a bit patient with the software. Okay, so if you have a wonderful laptop, a high definition laptop, all these things happen in seconds. Okay, so this is where what will usher us into the second stage, which is the company setup. So from here, you can start adding your customers. You can start adding the product and services you render and your bank account. Now, the advice is to go to a place where you can have access to everything. Vendor, customers, product, tax, where I can do everything at the same time. So I'll click on start working. Okay, so like I said, a bit more patient. So my system has a lot of burden in its mind. So that's why you see it slowing down. Okay, so here we are now. Here we are. Okay, so allow the app to settle itself. So I'm going to move all of this. So remember, we started our journey from QuickBooks Windows. Now, this is what we call the QuickBooks home page. This is the QuickBooks home page. This is where the actual work is done. Okay, so once you set it up properly, everything is fine. If you are following the way the top of the home page, you have the company's name. You can say I'm using QuickBooks Premier and the year. Now it's telling you that you are on the home page. It's telling you that you are on the home page. Okay. Then at the extreme, okay. Yeah, but it can be more than two. It can be more than twice. Yeah. Okay, I'll send the details to you. Yeah. Work on the version of the QuickBooks we are using, which is Premier Edition 2021, the location where you are presently. The location where you are presently. The location where you are present, which is the home page, and the control buttons, the minimize, maximize, close. Now, directly under it, you have the menu bar. Directly under it, you have the menu bar. So the menu bar contains menu commands. Like when you go to a restaurant to eat, you are given a menu. So inside under each menu, you have sub menu. Like you have a swallow now or rice. You have different types of rice, So you have the file menu, the edit menu, the view, the list, favorite, company, customers, vendors, employees, banking report, windows, and help. Now, every menu contains a sub menu. Every menu contains a sub menu. The actual work is done in the sub menu. You can see the file menu. These are the sub menu to the file, edit sub menu, view, list. So every menu contains a sub menu, and the actual work is done in the sub menu. Good. Now, look at this navy blue rectangular bar. This is called the navigation bar. This is known as the navigation bar, right? The navigation bar contains some of the menu. It's a game of shortcuts. Okay, so what you can pick here, you can easily pick it on the shortcuts. Okay, like you have my company, it's still the same thing with this. Okay, good. Then you have the home. Okay, the home simply is a description of how a transaction occurs. So this is just the software showing you the mapping system of all transactions. That's what you are seeing on the home. So you can see the vendor home, or the vendor center, the customer home page, and the employee's home. Now, let me give you a scenario. A customer asks Sky Investment to send an estimate, a price list of what he wants. Now, the customer likes what he saw, and now Sky Investment raises a sales order. Now, in that sales order, remember, we don't have the product in our store, but the customer has given us the go ahead to supply. Then we will raise a requisition order and send to our vendor in order for them to supply to us. Okay, so once they supply to us, we will invoice the customer and receive our payment. The money goes to the bank. So the vendor receives our requisition order, sends the inventory, and raises an invoice against us. So you can see it's magical how these things work. Okay, having said that, remember we are on the second leg of the setup, which is the company setup. like I told you, the company setup are those things that we have that the software does not have, that we need to impute into the software so that it will enrich our usage of the software. Good. Now, the first, please follow me on this journey. The first place to anchor is the edit. Now, basically all of us, we have phones. I'm sure that all of us, we do have phones. And one of the things we do in our phones is that once you get your phone, we zoom to, we just dash to settings. We go to settings to, change some of the defaults to reflect our own operational usage. That is the same thing we do in QuickBooks. Remember, it is a software that came with a lot of defaults. So it is your duty as the user to change some of these defaults to reflect the company's operation. And there are a lot of them, but I'm going to show you three key defaults that affects your report and your daily usage directly. Okay, so edit, you go to preference. So another name for preference is settings. So I'll click. Good, this is it. This is it. So now there are a lot of defaults here, please. Some of these defaults, we have already taken care of them while we were creating the company, especially inventory. We have taken care of inventory, okay? We have taken care of job and estimate. So we don't need to go back doing those things again because we have already selected them. But I'm going to focus on the three that affect your everyday usage. And if you don't do them properly, then you are going to struggle. Your balance sheet might be a problem at the end of the day. Now, number one is accounting settings. Okay, you click on accounting. Go to company preference. Good. Based on your company's accounting policy, it might be a condition that every ledger must have a number. Most companies do this, most don't. Okay, now let's assume that on our accounting policy that our company wants every account numbered, given a tag. Then what you do is to select use account numbers. Okay, then if that account has sub, like now you have rent, then you have rent USA, rent Nigeria, rent Ghana, which is sub of rent. Then you select that, yes, there's a sub, so that those sub will also have their tags. Good. Now, if you are running a departmental business, a construction business, an NGO, and at the end of the day, we want to know, let's use a typical construction company. Now you have 20 projects going on in 20 different locations. A shrewd business will want to know what each project is contributing to the general profitability of the business. Okay, then that means that I have to account for their financial statement individually. I want to know what each contract is giving to us, whether it's profitable or not. Another example is an NGO. You receive money from different donors. Another example is a departmental store. In a departmental store, there are many things that is being sold. You have different departments. You have the electronics, you have the food and beverages, you have the kitchen utensils, you have the local food section. A shrewd businessman will want to know which department is profitable and which department is not. You can't just model everything and say we are doing well. In that regard, you select what we call class. Class simply means that QuickBooks will going to use QuickBooks to manage different layers of branches of the business, looking at what they are giving you individually, as well as the holistic report. So this is done. Number two is multiple currency. Multiple currency. Remember, this software is US denominated. It's US denominated. You can see it's showing US dollar, right? Now, a typical location like Nigeria, you can't stay in Nigeria or in Ghana or in Kenya or in South Africa or even in any country in Europe, and you are reporting US dollar financial report to your tax authority. It's not proper. Okay, your report has to reflect the currency of that location, of that country. So in that regard, I want to remove this and replace it with the local currency here, which is Nigerian naira. Okay, so you select yes, I use more than one currency. Whatever it pops up, click yes. Okay, so it can see it has deactivated it. So I'll scroll down, look for Nigerian naira is here. It's not here, sorry. I'll look for view more currencies, then look for letter N. Letter N should be, this is it, Nigerian naira. So what I'm simply doing is that every transaction, every document, every source document, every non-commercial document, every commercial document will now be domiciled in Nigerian naira. It will carry the naira sign. And I want to make it permanent. So make it active. There, this is it. It's warning you that once you change, you can't go back. Yes. So this is it, Nigerian naira. You click OK, and that's it. You notice at the back, you can see this change is going on. It means that all your documents, commercial and non-commercial, are being imprinted with naira sign. Okay, so wait a little more. If it's taking too long, I'll tell you what to do, but let's wait. Okay, so let's open my company again. So we soldier on. Okay, so it went off momentarily. So I'm heading back. Okay, good. Now you go back to the last layer. Okay, so you go back to the last layer under preference. So you have payment. Now, naturally, QuickBooks comes with its own payment platform called Undeposited Funds. It comes with its own payment platform called Undeposited Fund. But from the case study here, we have our own different payment platform. We have our cash at hand, and we have money in Global Bank. Okay, so we are going to deactivate this because we have our own medium of payment with us. We pay by cash and we pay through the bank. Then the software can do the calculations automatically for us. So anytime we pay, the software will do the plus and minus, and our balance will be known. Then I'll click OK. I think this is the three most important things: accounting, multiple currency, and payment. So I'm done. So if it's not coming out, just click on home. Just click on home and the home page will come out. Good. We are just moving gradually, and so the next thing to do, remember we are done with the preference. The next thing to do is to enter your charts of account. The ledgers from this question. That is the next thing to do. And I've shown you that I have already extracted them. Let me go back to the PowerPoint page. Look at them here. I've extracted them. You can see them, about 17 of them. Very key. That's what I normally tell my students. Do your paperwork. Don't just, as I am today, with the level I've gotten, everything is already in the brain. I know when a client is talking to me, I know exactly what he wants. Even entering your business, the business environment tells me everything that goes on in that business. So it's your long years of experience. So, but always do your paperwork. Get a piece of paper, extract all the ledgers, extract all the products, or better still, you can ask for Excel copy of all of these things. They will give it to you because they want their work to come out good. Okay, so let's go back to QuickBooks. Okay, good. Now, let's go back to QuickBooks. I hope people are hearing me very well. Hello, are you hearing me? Good, good, good. Please indicate and carry me along. Indicate and carry me along so that I will know that we are all together. Okay, now the next thing, like I said, the second most important thing is to key in your charts of account. So you go to list, you can see it here, charts of account. Remember, accounting is useless. Accounting is useless without the charts of account. No matter how you are as an accountant, no matter how good you are as an accountant, okay, if your report doesn't have chart of account, it's as good as useless. The foundation of every accounting operation is the chart of account. So that's what you are seeing in your report, that you have your P&L report, balance sheet report, cash flow, trial balance, general ledger, and all other reports. It is dependent on this. Your report is dependent on the chart of account, which is very important. And the chart of account reflects the 5 pillars of accounting, which is income, expense, liabilities, capital, and assets. It's very important. These are the 5 pillars. Every chart of account of every business takes its life from these 5 pillars of accounting: income, expense, assets, liability, capital. You might not have you might not have assets, but you must have 1 or 2 or all the 5 of these pillars. So the chart of accounts takes life from there. Okay, good. Now let's get that one done. So I'll click chart of account. Remember, some of the charts that QuickBooks offered to us, I did deactivated them. We rejected them because we have ours to bring in from here. Then the ones we cannot delete, we can edit the names based on what we have here. So you can see that it's showing us numbers, right? Good. That means I selected numbers, okay? And this is the standard way it should be. Now, there is inventory account in this question, right? So if you look at there is inventory. So we'll leave that inventory asset, right? Then in a motor van, here the QuickBooks is showing furniture and equipment. So I'm going to change it to motor van. So you click, right click, and click on edit account. So I'm changing the name because it's asset account. Please permit me to use capital letter. It might not be fine in your eyes, but I normally love running with capital letter. So save and close. Did you see that? Motor van is there. Okay. In the question, there's no depreciation account. I can leave that. Then we have current deposit assets. So I can take this one out. We don't have anything like this. So I can delete this. Then payroll liabilities, there's none from the question. Then sales tax payable. So that's another way of saying VAT, value added tax. So I can change the name to reflect VAT. Oh, sorry, I can't, sorry, I nearly deleted it, which is, so I'll edit the name to VAT, value added tax. Okay, so it makes the work easy for me. Then opening balance, I will change it to capital because there's capital. We started, the said Sky International, a dealer including business. He started business with the following investment: cash at hand 500,000, cash in global bank 500,000, making it a capital balance of 1 million naira. So watch what I'm going to do. I will edit this to mean capital. I'll put it capital / equity. So they are all the same, whether British or America, they are all the same. They mean the same thing. Then owner's drawing, if you look at the last question, the second to the last question of this, the second to the last question, it says the owner of Sky Investment made a cash drawing. So I will leave that name, owner's drawings, maybe add some INGS to it, owner's drawings, okay? So that means it's an account that captures what the owner of the business has taken out of the business, what the owner has taken out of the business. Remember, if you understand accounting law, the fundamental law, the owner invested, the owner has the right to invest money to the business. And also, once in a while, he can have one or two challenges and decides to take out his investment for personal reasons or for personal use. It's as good as the business has repaid him to the amount of money he took. So he can draw money from his business to take care of his personal problems. Then payroll expenses, we have salary. We can change these to salaries. So America calls it payroll. So here we have, salaries. Okay, so save and close. Estimate is a non-commercial document. So that's why you have the word non-posting. It's not posted. It doesn't end up in report. It's more like a listing device. Now, the other accounts that are not here, that are not in QuickBooks, we are now going to key them individually. So let's look at our PowerPoint. So you can see that we have entered capital. We have taken care of this. We have entered a motor van. So what is now, we have entered salary. So we have entered inventory is already there. So, and drawings. So we are going to take up the other ones. So let's go. Okay. So let's go. Now, how to create, remember all this while we've been editing the ones that are already there. We are changing names to reflect our own, right? Now we are going to create a new account, okay? So you click, right click. It's either you right click here and you have the new button, or you go to account, you still arrive at the same new button. So whichever one works for you. So new, you select new. So what are we creating first? We are creating our medium of payment, cash at hand and global bank, right? So I'll go to bank. So bank is where you create all medium of payment. Even if you have 1 million bank accounts, all of them are under the account type bank. So you click continue. Then you have cash at hand. Okay. Remember, our currency was changed to Nigerian naira. Now, watch this. Please look at this, my question. Look at this question. Now, you are seeing the beginning balance, cash at hand, 500,000. You are seeing cash at bank, 500,000, right? Now, QuickBooks makes it easy that in the process of creating an account with a balance brought forward, because these it can be opening balance, it can also be balance brought forward. Now, QuickBooks made it easy that you can immediately enter that opening balance. You can immediately enter that opening balance, which is what I have here. Okay, so as of today, which we are starting operation, June 11th, we have 500,000 naira opening balance, or 500,000 naira that was brought forward from the past period. So you click OK and select save and close means that is the only thing you are creating. Then save and new means you are creating more. So don't forget that we selected in the edit, in the preference, that we have our account must have numbers, right? So I'm going to say number 10. or number 11, let me go from there. Number 11, then save and new, because we are creating other accounts. So number 12, you have global bank. Global bank. Global bank. Good. So that is that for medium of payment. That is that for, we have only two medium of payment. We pay and receive money by cash. We pay and receive money through our global bank. So save and close. So you can see the two accounts are there. You can see the two accounts are there. Good. Now the next one is our purchases account. We are going to create purchases and account payable. Okay. So you go back to accounts and select new. Okay, so what is the account type? If anyone you don't see here, you go to other account type, you see cost of goods sold. That's another name for purchases. Cost of goods sold. Okay, good. So continue. So the name is purchases. That's what we are going to use. If you call it purchases, you are correct. If you call it cost of goods sold, you are correct. If you also call it cost of sales, they are all correct. They are what we spent in bringing in our products that we will resell. So I'm putting the number 13. You can also do 13A, 13B, 13C. But please, a professional advice, when you are creating these for a company, don't just allocate your own number. Make sure the company approves the number. I have seen a lot of problems with fellow consultants on this. Make sure that the company approves the number you are portioning. Don't just say, I'm an accountant. No. Make sure that the company approves. It can be 4 digits, 5 digits. It can be a mixture of the company name and the number, so the company, you must carry them along. So save and close. So I'll be doing them individually so that you see how this thing works. So the next one is account payable. So the account type is also account payable. Is the account that captures the money we are owing those, our vendors basically. Is account that captures all the monies we are owing to vendors. So 14, we have accounts payable. Okay, save and close. Good. So we go to the next one, customer transactions. So we start with the account that captures all the sales, all the monies from sales, which is the income account. Look at it here, income. Continue. So I'm going to give it number 15. Then you have, if you call it sales, good. But I prefer the word revenue. If you call it revenue, good. Total sales, good. Sales, good. It depends on the one that works for that company. Every platform has its own unique approach, but they are all saying the same thing. They are all the same account. Good. The next one is accounts receivable. So the account that captures all the monies our customers are owing us. Accounts receivable, and it's a balance sheet item. So accounts receivable. Okay. So here we are. Good. So the next on the line is discount account. There is a discount there. Discount is a managerial rule of thumb. And remember, when a company discounts money, technically the company has lost what it will have gained. So we expense it. And that's why there's a provision in accounting law that says that is provision for all possible losses. So discount is one of them. So we have to make provision and expense that discount given to a customer. So you have expense account, continue. So I'm going to target number 17. So we have discount out. Okay. Save and close. So what do we have next? So we have rent remaining, stationaries, utilities, internet. Yes, that's what we have left. So they are all basically expenditure accounts. So we are going to see the remaining segments on creating expense. So expense number 18, you have rent. So I'm not going to click save and close because that's not the only thing I'm creating. So I'm going to do save and new because until I finish all the expense accounts. So save and new. Next one, number 19, that is stationaries. Yeah, stationaries. So number 20, you have utility bills. Utility bills. Then the last is internet subscription. 21, internet subscription. Okay, I think we have done justice to our ledgers. Everything, even if you miss, it's not a must that you have to create everything at once. Remember, as business operation goes on, as business commitments keep expanding, the chart of account keeps expanding. Okay, so that's how it is. You can't you can't imagine all the charts and create them in one day. It's not possible. As the business commitment expands, so will the charts expands to capture the new commitments going on. So this is it. Save and close. So you can see in as much as it's not, so you have to, in real life, you have to make them, structure them very well, and they follow. But all our accounts are here. Okay, so this is done. Remember, the chart of account under list is the first thing you must do. Under list, the chart of account is the first thing you must do. Is the very basic foundation of accounting. Without it, accounting is useless. Without the chart of account, without the ledgers, without the account heads, whatever name you use for it, accounting is useless. I can assure you with every 100% confident that you will never generate report. Good. Now, the next thing is to create the items we sell. Remember, this is it. Is to set up the items we sell. And we have 3 items we sell in this business. We have the handbag. We have suits, and we have shoes. These are the 3 items that Sky International, Sky Investment buys and resell. Okay, remember this is a trading business. Okay, so I'm going back to my QuickBooks. Then select list and item list. I'm very much, I'll be so happy if you follow this trajectory I'm using. You are up and running with this. You are up and running with this application. Okay, so I've mentioned the 3 items: handbag, suits, and shoes. Okay, so we are going to set them up now. Please pay attention also to what I'm going to do here. This is where people mess up this account. This is where they mess up the software. Okay, or this is where they allow the software to mess them up. Okay, by the time you see your trading account report or your income statement, you'll be asking yourself, how is the cost more than the sales? This is where it happens. So I'll click item list. You can see that we don't have any items here at all. Okay, well, all we have is what the software came with. So you can right click and select new, or you come down to the footer here, click and also select new, whichever one works faster for you. Now, what we want to set up is item, name of the inventories we buy and resell, but you can set up your service. Please note this. If you want to really enjoy QuickBooks, QuickBooks is just, every accounting software is just like your phone. Every accounting software is just like your phone. There is no way you can call a number that is not in your data, your phone data contact. It's not possible. There's no way. It's either you type that number on the spot and call, or it's either you type it on the fly and call, or you have that number already stored in the contact. If you want to enjoy QuickBooks, see it like your phone. Make sure that most of the database are already entered. You've already entered them in the software, so that anytime you want to, post transaction, you just call them out, call the item, call the name, and you use it. QuickBooks can never allow you to use item on the fly. You must create it in the software. You must add it before you use it. For items, you must add it before you use it. For ledgers, for a chart of account, you must add them before you use them. For customers, to a large extent, you must add them before you use them. So you can see QuickBooks is a software where you must do the data entry first to a large extent before you start making use of them. Okay, so if my business is non-inventory, I can enter the names of the services I run. Like I run a training school here, so I can enter a training for Sage 50, QuickBooks before I can use it, because it's more like service. But for today, we are looking at inventory part. We are imputing our inventory part. Okay? Now, the first item there is handbag. Okay? Then copy, paste. I'm going to explain this. Why do I need to copy and paste? Say description. So anytime I'm buying from a vendor, anytime a vendor sells handbag to me and I'm imputing the invoice of that vendor, I don't need to be typing handbag on the spot. QuickBooks will not even allow me. Handbag is already in the system, so I can call it up and impute it I can call it up as a description automatically without typing it. Wonderful. Then the same thing happens. You can see that I did not paste here. I just clicked and it duplicated itself. Now, anytime I'm selling to the customer, if I'm selling to the customer, I don't need to type handbag again. It's already in the system. It's just to call it up and use. Wonderful. Now, if you look at the question I have here, it says, for handbag, we bought handbag at 500 naira each. That's the cost price, right? So watch me. That doesn't mean that the price cannot change. It can change. The price can change. Business activities do change. So it can always change the price. QuickBooks will overwrite itself. Now, this 500 naira is the cost of buying one handbag, right? Good. Now, anytime I purchase a handbag, I want the value of that handbag to be debited in my purchases account. You see what I'm doing there now? You see the way I'm linking it up? You can see the way I'm linking this up. This is what I call perfection. If you remember, garbage in perfectly, and the system will garbage out perfectly. So it's perfection that begots perfection. So if you don't garbage in perfectly, the system will give you what will keep you gazing. What happened? So that's why you see some companies, they say, no, QuickBooks is not a good software. We can't use it. Let's go to Sage. They will go to Sage. They will come back. No, we can't use Sage again. Let's go to Tally. It's millions that are being wasted. If you know what you are doing, one software can get the job done unless the business activities are expanding. Then you look for a higher software. But you see, so a company, they've not even used up to 5% of what that software has. They've condemned it, you know, and they have millions to spend on another one. Okay, so let's go. Now, if I'm selling, the selling price for handbag is 1,000, right? So I'll put 1,000 under sales price. That doesn't mean that the price cannot change tomorrow. Okay, the price can always change. They will come in your source document. Then I will link the revenue account. It simply means anytime I sell a bag, a handbag to a customer, the money should be credited to the revenue account. You can see, you are now telling the software what to do at every point in time. When such a thing happens, the software knows that you have already selected the account where it should go to. Now, what does this tool give you? Revenue, purchases. When you minus purchases from revenue, you will get your gross profit. That means your trading account, right? Good. Make sure this place is connected to your purchases account. And here is connected to your income or revenue account. Make sure. This is where people mess the whole thing up. And make sure that inventory account is here. It is these three accounts, sales, purchases, and inventory, that gives you your P&L and your inventory reports. When you buy products, inventory will increase. When you sell products, inventory will decrease. Then increase minus decrease will give you the balance. The balance is what you have in inventory account. Excellent. Wonderfully done. Then you click OK. If that's the only thing you are doing, you click OK, or you select next, because we have two more items. So the second one is suits. Okay. Then you copy the same procedure, copy and paste, copy, paste, click. So the cost price is 700 Naira, while the selling price is 1,200. So you can see that once you link the first account to the right ledgers, QuickBooks copies it, it photocopies it, and starts following that pattern for you. You can see that I don't need to do any other thing here. So that means that that first one has to be perfectly done. It has to be perfectly done. Then next, then you have the last one. The last one is shoes. Okay, sorry, I have to change this. Shoes. So copy, paste, click. I don't need to do anything here again because they are in order. Then that's the last item. You click OK. So you can see them here. You can see all of them here. So good and fine. So the joy is that when you follow this thing the way it should, with detailing and concentration, from the setup, you already know that my reports will make sense. From the setup, you know that your report will make a whole lot of sense. Okay, now the next thing is the discount. Remember, we have VAT, we have discount. So we are going to enter those two. They are part of the item list. Okay, they are part of the item list. So this is it, new. So I'm setting up VAT now. You can see sales tax item. Sales tax, this is where you set up your VAT. Please remember also that this is a beginner proficiency class. With the knowledge you are getting today, you can comfortably handle any company's account. You can comfortably set up the company for them and run their transactions by yourself. The master's class is a paid class. It comes with a whole lot of technicalities, that a whole lot of troubleshooting the software, networking systems, having the software work in a networked environment. There's a whole lot of things we do in the master class. Please also don't forget to subscribe to our page. Remember, I've told you our goal is to help accountants almost at no cost, acquire this knowledge. It pains me when I go to organizations, the person you are coming to train or the people you are forced to train, because I'm using the word forced, are non-accountants. And you ask yourself, where are the accountants? Where have they gone to? Where are the accountants that those who don't know anything about accounting are using this software? But you are a professional. You are paid to do your job. You must convert them and expose them to using. I have seen people who read different courses, theater art and the rest, working as an accountant through the help of these softwares, Okay, so don't forget to subscribe to our page. Don't forget to watch our videos. My goal is to keep churning out videos that solve your unique problems. Don't forget to like and comment on our videos. And also forget to tell us what your problems are. We would like to have your problems and convert it to videos like this so that the world people who have issues can always watch them and get clarity. Don't forget to subscribe to our page. Thank you once again for joining us, and thank you for being with us. Apologies for what the network did to us this morning. We have to quickly create a new stream, but tomorrow's stream is still sacrosanct. The link is still sacrosanct, and we have taken care of the network. My apologies once again for those of us who felt bad with the way things went. Thank you very much for your patience and being there. Okay, let's zoom in. So our VAT name is VAT. I'm going to abbreviate it to VAT. Possibly type this in full. Value added tax. Now the question says is subject to every item is subject to 7.5%. Okay, then it has to be remitted to the tax office. Okay, so that means our tax vendor that collects tax on behalf of the government. So I'm going to create a new vendor and I'll call it tax office. It can be FIRS, it can be IRS, depending on the one your country has. Then so we are good. We are created. So that means that anytime a unit of item is sold, QuickBooks will calculate a VAT of 7.5 on it. So this is done. Then the last there is the discount. Because if you look at the question, you notice that McDave was given a discount of 1,000. So I'll go to discount. So this is where you create both discount allowed and discount received. This is where you create both discount allowed and discount received. So you have there discount allowed. Remember in the question, it was a cash discount. There is not in percentage. So discount allowed. Copy. Paste. Then, because it's a rule of thumb, I'm not going to put anything there. But if it is in percentage, you can put your 5%. QuickBooks knows how to do the calculation. Whatever you put there, that's what it will calculate. Then I will link it to the discount allowed account. Simply means anytime a discount is given, please debit the discount allowed account. So done. I think we're almost at the tail end. Okay, we are done with the chart of accounts and we are done with the items. We have entered both of them. So what is now left is the customer name, that's the database, the vendors names, and the employees names. I think in the next 20 minutes, we should be done with the setup. So everything about setting up this company will have been taken care of professionally. Everything about setting up this company will have been taken care of professionally. And you can see how smooth it is when you follow details and you are focused and you have all the information available to you. Okay, good. So the next thing is to create the companies, the names of the customers, names of customers, names of vendors, and names of the employees. These are three things remaining, and we are done with the setup. Only tomorrow will be more of posting transactions. So today is basically to achieve how to set up any business on the software smoothly. So tomorrow is when we will do the postings. We will now look at the transactions carried out by this company and how each of these transactions, where they go to in generating accurate report for us. Good. Okay, so I'm starting with customers. So you go to customer menu. You can see where I am. You go to customer menu. You go to customer menu and select customer center. Go to customer menu and select customer center. This is where you create only the names, the details, the data of the customer, not the transaction, the data of the customer. Okay, so this is it. The first customer there is Kev Fashion House. Kev Fashion House. Okay, so once it opens, you come to new customer and job, drop down and select new customer. Now, if you watch this, now look at where I'm putting the name. Not on customer name, but on company name. Now, the advantage here is that if you type the name here, Kev Fashion House. If you type the name here, Kev Fashion House, it will duplicate in, watch this. Did you see? Once you type it here and click, it means that when I'm invoicing the customer, the name Kev Fashion House will appear automatically. Okay? When I'm doing anything, billing the customer, these names will appear. I don't need to retype them by myself. That is the advantage. And this customer pays us in the local currency. This customer pays us in the local currency, right? So this is taken care of. Then you click OK. So my customer has registered, the name Kev Fashion House has registered. So you can see it here, Kev Fashion House. Then the second one, new customer and job. So you have there Zenith Garment. Zenith Garment. So click, that's duplicated. Then okay. Then the last customer there are 4 customers. The fourth one has no name. When we are posting, I will show you how to capture the transaction of customer with no name. A customer we normally call on the fly customer. Let me give you an example. If you go to a place like Nest, Sahad store, or any store, any departmental store, you notice that they hardly ask you your name. But they will print your, they will have your printout given to you. If you go to filling station to refill, they hardly ask you your name. You are seen as on the fly customer or one of customers. So I will show you how that is done. So the last customer with a name there is McDave Boutique. McDave Boutique. So I'll duplicate. Good. So you say, so now you can go ahead and enter the customer's number, website, email, last name, first name. These things they are all formalities. The most critical thing is that name your business knows the customer with. Okay, numbers can change, address can change, but the customer name remains relatively stable. Okay, we are done with customers. We have only 4 customers, 3 with name that have entered our database. The last one will be, I will show you in the posting operations. The next thing to set up is the vendors database. We also have 3, even 4 vendors. So you go to vendor menu, select vendor center, you click on new vendor. You can see that tax office is already there because I created it as a shortcut in the VAT. New vendor, the same pattern. So the vendor name, the first is Morgan Designers. So just click OK, it will duplicate. New vendor, we have Edge Tellus. I hope I got the spelling correct. Good. So just save, it will duplicate. You don't need to worry yourself anymore. QuickBooks will just follow the standard you've created. Then you have King Joe. That is the second to the last vendor. Then in the middle of the sentence, we paid utility bill to PHCN, just like a company that manages the light, the energy. So you have PHCN, and boom. So we are done with our vendor. You can see the vendor list here. And see they are all reading balance. We have not done any transaction with them. Please, once again, don't forget to subscribe. It takes a lot for us. You can see it's a lot for us to put up this in terms of stress and monies and the rest. Don't forget to encourage us. Please don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to, comment, like our videos. Tell us what you want, even what you want done as a course. We will get that done for you. Please subscribe to our page. Your comment is welcome. Your like is welcome. And please share to friends, people you know who are in the field of accounting or accounting related, who can benefit from this. We will be happy to have them on board. Thank you. And I want to announce to us, in the next 14 days from today, we will be having Sage 50 training. I think this is, for now, we are going to rest on QuickBooks. This is the second time we are doing it. In the next 14 days, we'll be having on Sage 50. And what we want to bring to you is the highest version of Sage 50 called the Quantum. We want to bring that to you, the highest version of Sage 50 called the Quantum version. So in the next 14 days from today, Sage 50 is coming on board. Then after Sage 50, we have data analysis, tally, then business analysis, and the circle goes round and round for those who will also be coming in new. Thank you so much. So look out for us in the next 14 days for Sage 50 accounting software. Then don't also forget that the conclusion of this course is tomorrow 12th. And the link, I'm going to send it to us. Don't forget that the completion of this course is tomorrow, where we will do the postings, and we also look at the various reports. Okay, thank you for being there for us once again. So the last thing on our menu today is entering the employees, our staff. That's the last thing on our setup, is employees. So you go to employee menu, select employee center. Yeah, this is it. Once it opens, once the employee center opens, click on new employee. Okay, so this is more like a title. Let's say Mr. John The first staff, if you look at them here, you can see their names. Mr. John Edits. Then this is middle initial, like John G or John E Edits. Okay. I think every other thing can be social security number. This is more like an American thing, gender, date of birth, but the most critical thing is the name. Okay. Click OK, leave as it is. Done. Number 2 is Flora James. So Flora James. Flora James. What they are writing is okay. So Flora James. So done. Save as it is. Leave as it is. Gates Peters. I went to a company and I saw in the employee list the name of the business owner. And I was asking the staff, why will you put Oga's name in the name of the employees? Oga cannot employ himself now. The lady told me that anytime Oga draws money, Oga becomes an employee. You know, and that is the disadvantage of having a non-accountant, you know, sitting down where an accountant should be sitting. So she told me that anytime Oga draws money, it's like Oga has paid himself. So Oga is an employee. So I can never forget that experience. So, and these are things we see when we put a round hole in a square, in a square peg, and we get all of these things. I tell you, no. When Oga draws money, it's drawings. It is a special accounting operation. That doesn't make Oga an employee. You know, so that is one experience I've never forgotten in this field. Though, you know. So it's very good when you put the right people in the right place and give them the right tool. They deliver the right content for the business. You know, because what is of what use is managerial decision when the data, when the information you are going to use to make decision doesn't make sense? Of what use is the decision? You know, so this is it. So we are done. This is where we'll bring today's class to a closure. We have done all the setup, everything. I'm going through the case study right now, and everything that we need to touch, we have taken care of that. So I think I have to give this moment for those of us who have questions. I have to give this moment. So okay. So do we have any questions? Okay, after. Yes, Mr. Isaac, yes, you can always go back to the preference to make any amends. Yes. But you can always go, but if it is, but there are things you can no longer change. Mr. Isaac Uchendo, I'm answering your questions. There are things you cannot change in the preference. When you convert to your local currency, you can't change it again. Okay, but there are things you can change. There are still some things. You can remove the class. You can even remove the number. Let me get that done now. Let me answer Mr. Isaac's question. I can go back to edit. I can go back to edit, preference. Okay, this is what I want to do. Let me, I want to remove the chart of account. I don't want these numbers to be there again. You can see these numbers, look at them. I don't want to run with these numbers anymore, right? So I can go back to edit, preference, and accounting. Then I say, no. Close the numbers, remove the numbers. So watch this. Did you notice this? We don't have numbers anymore. So there are things you can change. There are things you can no longer change, especially the currency. You cannot change the currency anymore once that is done. Yes. So any more question? Please, the video is always on the YouTube there. you can always, when you are settled, you can still go back to it and get your details right. The video is a live video. It's always on YouTube, on our YouTube page there. You can always go back, take your time with your cup of tea, your coffee, your juice. You can now relax and cross your leg on the table and go through it again. Please encourage us. Please don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like our videos, watch our videos, comment, tell us how we can serve you better. I know that network has been a problem here, but I'm investing heavily in it in these few days so that it will not be an issue for us anymore. Please, apologies for some of us who might have been taken out by the network. Please do join us tomorrow. I'm going to do a summary of this. I'm going to do a 30-minute summary of everything we have done today to carry you people along so that we can be on the same page. So my name is Onyekachinwo Ozuzu. I am always your preferred accounting software specialist. Thank you for the opportunity, and bye-bye for now. Thank you. See you tomorrow.
Thank you.